Thank you so much, Kat, to be in my channel. It's called Mindfulness with Manish.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
What made you come into the real estate journey?
I saw, wow, there's a lot of money to make in this industry. Should I chunk it down?
No, that's fine. How did you teach yourself the skill to run a scalable and sustainable business?
Well,
The real estate agent not necessarily are making profit out of it.
some aren't. Some are.
Some are,
and,
some are.
And
Okay,
some aren't.
got it.
And that's why understanding the numbers behind the business is so important.
Yeah, that is true. And hiring, and what does a bad hire do? Like what harm they create?
Well, they give you parts of your job back. They may not execute.
Yeah, if they're not doing the job, then you are doing their job and fixing that their work also, which creates another task. How did you figure out whether a person is authentic or not? Thank you so much, Kat, to be in my channel. It's called Mindfulness with Manish.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, so basically to introduce Kat, I'm so excited to sit with Kat, who is someone I deeply respect. Not just only a leader in the real world, but also a leader in Keller Williams family. Kat is a director of growth in Keller Williams, Thrive in Santa Clara Valley, a coach and a passionate leader who helps agents transform from simply having a career to building scalable, sustainable businesses. But Kat's journey hasn't been easy. She's faced perfectionism, fear of failure, burnout, and a challenge of learning how to be a business owner, coming from a blue-collar family. And yet she turned all those struggles into fuel for her growth. Today, we are gonna talk about a lot of stories about Kat, about growing pains into the real estate journey, the tools that helped her succeed, and how she leads with authenticity, mindfulness, and service. Thank you again so much, Kat.
My absolute pleasure.
Did I miss anything? You want to introduce yourself from your own words?
You know, I think you hit the nail on the head. A leader who's always learning, growing, and wanting to service others. So
Awesome. So before we jump into your background and your story about being a real estate leader, just a little bit from your words, where are you coming from, where were you born,
Sure.
and things like that. That will be great.
Absolutely. Well, I was born and raised in Redwood City, California.
Oh, you're from here?
I am. I'm
Okay.
born and raised. So grew up here locally, and I didn't move out of the area until I went to college, going to college in Southern California, where I studied psychology. I've always been really interested in humans, the brain, and personality. I always say that I stumbled into real estate because I didn't really intend to get into this industry. I saw it as a means to an end for a portion of time, and here I am, 10 plus years later, loving what I do and having longevity in this industry. I've done a lot of different roles, from working the front desk to helping build out a mega agent team to, being a leader, consultant, and coach for the last 3.5 years. And I'm really honored and excited to be here and to live in my passion and to hopefully share some stories and learning tidbits that help others grow.
Awesome, that's great. So before I jump into my notes, just curious to know, from the background that you shared, what made you come into the real estate journey?
That's a great question. So I was going down the clinical psychology route, and I was having a hard time making ends meet while I was in school. So I actually took a front desk position at a brokerage, and one, I saw, wow, there's a lot of money to make in this industry. And then two, I saw how there's so much more to real estate than selling houses. And I found it to be really interesting. And I know authenticity is going to be something that we touch on in our conversation today. And I think always being my authentic self, I had a vendor partner who approached me and said, I think you should sit down with this team. I think you'd be a really good fit for them. And I said, okay, I'm never going to say no to a conversation. And joining that mega agent team that I helped to build out is where I really saw how I can live in my passion in this industry and really impact more lives and have a lot of financial opportunity too.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. So basically you went with the course of directions, and people helped you basically to where you are right now.
Yeah, and if you would have asked me 10 years ago if I would be in this industry and this is what I'd be doing, I'd say, who are you talking about?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Right, right. Okay, so you have spoken about comparison trap in your career. How did comparison affects you, and what helped you step out of it?
I think working in an industry that's really competitive and that is truly based on numbers, that really led me to compare myself to others. So going to conferences, going to classes, seeing people on stage and comparing myself, my growth, my production to them and what they've achieved. And I think that hindered me for a long time. And it took me really understanding what I wanted to build, what I wanted to achieve, and identifying what success looked like for me and how that can look different than the person who I see on stage. Or I can get there to those numbers and to those goals in a way that feels authentic and true to me.
Yeah, I think that's true. So I think I've learned that comparison is something, I might be wrong, should be done by yours, like to yourself, what you were last year or what you were before, not to others, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think you covered that pretty well as well. So basically comparing yourself with what you were like, and getting better with that.
Absolutely. And, there's the phrase comparison is the thief of joy,
Yeah.
right? So if we're looking internal, we always want to be learning and growing. It's when we look external that it can be a hindrance to ourselves and our growth.
Correct, yeah. So perfectionism is something many high achievers battle. How did you learn to define what's good enough means for you?
That is a great question, and I will be transparent. That is still a work in progress for me. Defining what's good enough has changed in different seasons of my life, different points of my career and my growth. And at the end of the day, what's most important to me is that I'm able to lay my head on my pillow and know that I did right by others. And I serviced my clients, our agents, at the highest level I possibly could that day. And a lot of days, that's what success looks like for me. And it is always evolving and growing.
Yeah. I think one of the things I have also learned is during the Bold where we all met, right? We went there. I think one of the coach told us, just go there and help people out there. Like help can be anything.
Yeah.
And the way of happiness you receive while helping others will be immense.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to be real estate help. It can be any help, right?
Absolutely.
So, and I've done that, like this weekend I went for a service to one of the communities, and it gave me a pleasure to like help people and see the happiness also.
Absolutely.
And I think real estate is all about that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not like just helping find people houses. It's about anything.
Yeah,
right?
helping them in any way. And oftentimes when we're servicing clients, it's so much more than helping them buy or sell a house. There's core motivation. It's meaningful for their family. It's meaningful for their wealth. It's not a transaction. It's truly how we're being of service to the person.
Right. That makes sense. So you have admitted fear of failure and not asking for help where big hurdles come.
Yep.
Can you share a time when this held you back and what shifted you?
Yes, I sure can. I would say a time that this really held me back, there was a time that I was leading a different brokerage and outside of Thrive in Santa Clara Valley. And we had really big goals and we had a lot of room for growth. And I'd say for my first year and a half of leading there, I thought that I could do it all myself. I could transform the business by putting the world on my back. And I can't tell you what exactly happened for me to have a moment of self-reflection, but I do remember the night I had gotten home and I was sitting thinking, and I just realized that the goals and the growth of the business was bigger than myself. That as hard as I can work, I'm not able to do it alone. So I had to have a huge slice of humble pie. So it held me back I could have asked for help, a year sooner, almost a year and a half sooner, and I didn't. And I struggled to make the momentum that I did, and it came at an expense to my time, my overall health. And so I learned that we really achieve more by partnering with people, by succeeding through others, by asking for help. The world is bigger than just Kat. As hard as I may try, I can do more, make more of a positive impact through partnership with others.
How did you realize that you need help from others?
Honestly, it was that one night, and I just was sitting there thinking, I was looking at my numbers and, what I had achieved in the last year and a half. And I also noticed how much of my time, right, went into, transforming the business and the impact that had on some of my personal relationships. So I just had a moment where I saw, man, I've been grinding as hard as I can, laying my body on the fire, and it's still not enough for us to get where we want to go. Yeah. And again, it's the world and the goals are bigger than just Kat. I need help. I need talented other individuals who have parts of their brain that work in ways mine don't, to be able to help me succeed and for us all to hit our goals.
Exactly. And it's like valid for all the industries. I come from tech background. There also you need a team, right? When I was a newbie, I used to do everything by myself, but there's limit to do by yourself. Compared to if you do it as a team, you can achieve n number of times or n square, whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's well said, yeah.
And if I may, something I think with a lot of high performers is, we succeed at a high level just based on our own grit. And I was raised with a phrase, if it's got to be, it's up to me.
Yeah.
And you hit a ceiling of achievement by doing it all by yourself. So yeah, absolutely. I agree with everything you said.
Same thing. So coming from a blue collar family, you didn't grow up around entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
How did you teach yourself the skill to run a scalable and sustainable business?
Well, I failed a lot. So some hard lessons learned, but I seem to learn the best when I fail. And I really read and mastered this book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent by Gary Keller. So when I first stepped in to helping build out and scale that mega agent team, I was gifted this book and I read it front to back. And then I read it again. And then I read it again. And I worked to put these models in place in our business. And it was like Gary Keller knew what he was talking about. So I would say I turned to books and education, and I've always put myself in rooms where 99% of the people, if not 100, know more than I do. So putting myself in rooms where I can learn from others who have built a business at a higher scale, and learning from them, what worked for them, what didn't.
I see. So can you share some examples of this book, which model you like the best and what this book is all about?
Absolutely. I can't say I like one model the best because you need them all. So this book goes through how you build a real estate business where you net profit $1 million. There's 4 models in here. ELBO is an acronym for short. Economic model, lead generation, budget, and organization. You have to start with the economic model, understanding the numbers of your business. Lead generation, that's how are we building relationships and how are we really nurturing them. Budget model, all about monitoring expenses, red light, green light. And then the organizational model, that's where we look at succeeding through others, leveraging partners, building a team, and so forth. And so, you really can't pick just one. I love them all. But I'd say the economic model and the lead generation model were 2 of my favorites for a really long time. Right now, I'm having a lot of coaching and consulting conversations around the organizational model with some of our top agents, helping them to build out a team.
Got it. So you highly recommend this book?
100%. I read it every year.
Every year? Oh my
Every
God.
single year. So while I would say I know this book at a high level, I take out different parts at different times of life. So yeah, once a year, I'm reading it again.
Talking about books, right? So one is this book. Any other book do you recommend?
Oh my goodness, there's so many. The Millionaire Real Estate Agent is a great book. The One Thing, all about being purposeful with our time. I'd say Shift is also a great book by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan, all around how to navigate and win in a shifting market. And then there's so many that I could recommend. We'd be here all day, but I'll keep going.
That's fine. Top 2 books is good. So again, summarizing what you mentioned, how to grow yourself, learning from failures. Second is from others. Surround yourself with people who are more knowledgeable than you.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay, that's well said. Burnout is a word that gets thrown around a lot. For you, what did burnout actually look like? How was it shaped the way you lead today?
That's a great question. So what did burnout look like for me? I would say that at a time where I probably experienced the most amount of burnout that I've ever experienced, what it looked like for me is I feel like I kind of hit a wall. My energy was low. I wasn't feeling as happy and fulfilled in the work that I was doing. And it took, I'll be really transparent, it took my husband one night coming to me and saying to me, "You're not happy. You know you're not happy. Make a change. Like, it's time. Make a change." And I think that I needed that permission from someone to step away from something, because I had never done that before. And so much good came from it. I took time off where I just thought about what it is I want to do with my life, how I want to spend my time, what fulfills me and energizes me, and what type of environment do I really thrive in. And by being in alignment with my values, I was able to find the place that's home for me and, step into an environment in a team that's in alignment where I really thrive, I'm energized. So a lot of lessons learned from it, but I definitely hit a wall and had to step away to figure out what was right for Kat.
Yeah, so you mentioned your husband was a motivating person.
Yeah.
Who basically told you need to get away.
He gave me permission, yeah.
Yeah, was that something trigger you were looking for? Like, that's why you were stuck? Or I wanted to ask, you need permission from someone.
I think at that time I did need permission from someone. Burnout has been a big work in progress for me, right? I'm someone that goes really hard and I play all in. And so I think managing that balance of my energy will be a lifelong journey for me. And with the work that I've done at that point in time, I did need permission from someone who I knew at the end of the day had my best interest in mind no matter what.
Yeah.
And that also came at an impact to our household, went down to one income with me stepping away. So knowing that he understood the impact of me stepping away and knew it was the right thing for me and gave me that grace helped me know that it really was the right thing to do. Because I will always, a big part of how I've ran in life is sacrificing myself for others. And it was like I was given a chance to put myself first.
Right.
And that has stuck with me, because I used that time to really soul search. I started working with a health coach and nutritionist. And I started to understand what it looks like for Kat to put herself first and still love what she does and play all in.
Yeah, I think that all makes sense. So having a supporting partner or maybe a friend is important. That's what I'm realizing, right?
Absolutely. Having a tribe that you can lean on, that has your best interests. Because my husband wasn't the only person, who I trusted who was coming to me and suggesting I make a change.
Right.
And coming from him, it was the most important person it could have come from.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom and Dad.
That makes sense. So shifting our gears towards, something different, which is, the tools and things which keeps you motivated and that change you where you are right now, being a leader. So basically, one thing is you often mention authenticity as a key value. What does leading with authenticity looks like in real estate?
I love that question. I think leading with authenticity and serving in authenticity can look different for each individual. And what it comes down to is having your actions in alignment with your values. I truly believe that when we act in alignment with our values, we are authentic. Staying true to who you are. I would say I'm a really competitive and driven person, and I'm also silly and I love to joke. And you probably see that in me, right? I like to crack jokes when we hang out. So I make sure to sprinkle who that other side of Kat into the business aspect too. Because people want to work. People can tell when you're being authentic and when you're not. And we need authenticity, right? There's so much out there that
fake.
Fake appears one way, really is a different way. So I think authenticity is so refreshing and so true. So I just want to show up as who I am, take it or leave it, and that's okay.
How did you figure out whether a person is authentic or not?
That's a great question. I think you can sense it. I think people can sense it. Yeah. I don't know if you've ever sat down with someone and felt like they were giving you a bunch a bunch of BS.
Yeah.
Where you can also sit down with someone and they might share something with you and you can just tell that it's true and authentic. I really think it's something we can sense, people can sense.
It's like energy and vibe.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens anywhere in my job also.
Yeah.
When somebody is like, BSing you,
Yeah.
you can tell like whether something is, like you don't know the data, you don't know the context also, but you can tell this person is not telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something around that,
Yeah.
which is true. So who were some of the mentors or coaches who shaped you? And what's the best piece of advice you have received from them?
I have had some great coaches and mentors. I had a phenomenal mentor when I was working to build out that mega agent team. She had stepped into the real estate industry from Genentech. And I say she was a great mentor because she helped with that learning curve on how to run a business and scale it. And she also saw something in me that I didn't see in myself for a long time. So she's been a key factor in my growth. And then I've had a business coach since about my second year with Keller Williams. So I've worked with some phenomenal coaches. And I think having that person there to give you the feedback, to help you grow through things, scale your business and build it to the extent that you want is really helpful. Some of the little nuggets, I won't give you just one, I'm going to give you three. But some of the key phrases that have stuck with me is, you're growing when you're in pain. That's why they're called growing pains. So sometimes you might hear me joke that I'm going to be really tall. Don't let perfection be the enemy of the good. I used to struggle with analysis paralysis. So that's something that's helped me do the research I need, take the action, and plan, do, check, and adjust. We make a plan, we run the play, we check. Did we achieve what we thought we would with these strategies? If not, why not? How do we fill the gap? And that ties into one of the other phrases that has always stuck with me is that victory falls to the prepared.
Got it. Wow, that's a lot.
I know. Sorry. Should I chunk it down?
No, that's fine. So, yeah, coming back to the plan and tracking thing.
Yep.
How do you plan? How do you track?
Yeah, it's a great question.
Give an example.
It can look different for different
things,
people. Yeah. When we talk about a plan, it's going to be a business plan. So, I'm going to have my top line goal. Perhaps it's to net X amount of money in 2026. Okay, that's my top line goal. In my plan, I've got my 3 priorities I believe will help get me to that goal. And then with each priority, I've got strategies. So I put a plan in place that shows up on my calendar too, right? For me to time block. And then I'm checking. So when we have a business plan for 2026, at the end of Q1, I'm pulling up that plan, I'm pulling up my production, and am I on track or off track? That's where we do that plan, do, check, and adjust.
Okay.
We might need to adjust some of our strategies. Maybe we are absolutely crushing it and we could increase that goal a little bit, adjust that. But that's what I mean by creating a plan and then checking.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, rest of the things that you mentioned are great, and I've a little bit heard about them. Those are also great. I think one of the things you mentioned was perfection should not be the enemy of good. So basically just do it.
Just
right?
do it, yeah.
Yeah, do not aim. Yeah, aim for perfection, but perfection should not stop you from not doing it. So
absolutely.
That's the thing, yeah.
And we're going to fail. No matter how hard we try, there are going to be failures. So just do it. If you're going to fail fast and learn from it and move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. So you call yourself the lead gen follow-up queen. What specific system or habits make you so consistent?
I'm very humble, as you can tell. What habits make me consistent? Well, first off, with joining Keller Williams, everyone who I saw on stage and all the classes and conferences I went to talked about lead generation and time blocking. So you time block your lead generation and your follow-up first thing in the mornings. And that's what everyone who succeeded at a high level said to do. So I did it because I didn't pretend to know more than them. And now that is just my go-to layout for my day. So, I wake up in the mornings, I've got my me time, go on a walk, go to the gym. When I come into the office, I'm getting prepared for the day. My first time block on my calendar is my lead gen. right after that, it's my lead follow-up. And I respect that and I honor that. And our team even knows you don't schedule a meeting with Kat until after 11:30 because the day doesn't really start until after 11:30 because I've got those first 2.5 hours
Blocked.
allocated to growing the business.
Yeah. Just for, going into basics, people who don't understand lead generation
Yeah.
and follow-up. So if you can give a little bit light.
Absolutely. I think, and lead generation can sound a bit transactional. Truly, it's relationship building. At the end of the day, the currency of really any business is relationships. So when you look at growing your business, lead generating, or relationship building, it's how do you want to do that? And what are the avenues that you're naturally skilled at? You know, if you're someone who really thrives being around people, in the real estate industry, it might be doing open houses, might be doing events. So that's the first thing that shows up on my calendar, building new relationships. And then when we talk about lead follow-up, that's really nurturing your relationships. That's my favorite, truly, right? So people that I've met, I'm touching base with them, just hearing how things are going in their world. When I was building out that mega agent team and we're nurturing our relationships, we're helping our buyers get connected with lenders, we're helping them take next steps to be able to achieve their real estate dreams. So it's really around building relationships and then nurturing them.
Nice. Yeah, I feel like, after coming to real estate, I feel like these are all natural things we should be doing, of course, but people don't do that,
Yeah.
Like, for example, before joining real estate, I don't talk to my friends that often.
Right.
I didn't, they were busy in their life. I was busy in my life. So having just a normal call once in a month or maybe once in 3 months, it's enough. That's what real estate teaches you all about.
Absolutely.
Not just with your friends, with random people also.
Yeah.
Like we are human to human, right? So building that connection, building that, relationship is something that this industry teaches you. Because as a tech professional, you are like a robot. You're just focusing on your work and things like that. But this is more about relationship.
It is.
Which you mentioned is right.
Yeah, relationships the core.
Yeah. So you have said service and contribution are your true why. How do you keep that at the center in such a competitive industry?
I would say I keep it at the center in the sense that being of service and making a positive impact is truly what motivates me and what fulfills me. So again, it's being able to lay my head on the pillow at the end of every day and know that I lived in my values, in my passion and my fulfillment. And I'd say for me, it's really easy to keep at the center because it's why I do this. Maybe there's days where I feel like I don't get to lean into that as much. Maybe I'm having to do a lot of administrative tasks or things that take me away from making a positive impact and just pouring into others. And those days are not nearly as fulfilling for me. And so I'll make sure that I end out my day with like a message of gratitude to someone, right? Just anyone who I'm feeling grateful for, send them some positivity, because who doesn't love that? If I can bring a smile to someone's face in the day or be a light, that's what makes it a win for me. So being purposeful in it, and it's what I enjoy the most. So I work to make it at the core, because otherwise I wouldn't love what I do.
Yeah, that's basically. And the more you give to the people, basically you will feel better.
Absolutely.
And also people will also give it to you.
Yeah,
right? It's
absolutely.
Like, and then you will feel better.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I'll take a gratitude text at any point in time, everyone. Just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
So you practice failing forward and failing fast.
Yep.
Can you share a failure you have actually grateful about?
Oh, absolutely. Making a bad hire.
Making a bad hire?
Making a bad hire.
Making a bad hire, okay.
Yes, a couple of times, because sometimes I learn the hard way.
Yeah, bad hire are different. They are,
and I think I had to learn the hard way, and the amount of time and money that was lost in me not following the model when looking to bring talent onto a team. Lots of lessons learned, and I'm very grateful for that, because now I do not skip the model. I follow the process because it's yielded great results in attracting talent, retaining talent. And And if I didn't fail through making bad hires and not following the model, probably would have tried to cheat the corners even more.
What is the model you are talking about?
Oh, that's a great question. So, we have a process called career visioning, and it's all about finding the right talent, hiring the right talent, and then helping them succeed in their role so that there's longevity. So, I would say I've failed in hiring someone that was not in alignment with our goals, with our values. And then I had also failed in setting them up for success in their role. The interview process is all about us getting to know the candidates, them sharing about themselves and how they're the right fit. And then once we get into business with them, it's on us as a leader to set them up for success through training, through coaching, through clear goals so that they know how to win and what is the learning path to get there. So I'd say those are two ways I've failed, and I'm very grateful for, because I won't make that same mistake twice.
And we are all humans. We always,
we
create mistakes. That's totally fine. The thing is, like, we need to keep on learning from others.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that is true. And hiring, and what does a bad hire do? Like, what harm they create?
Well, I'd say they give you parts of your job back.
Exactly, yeah.
They may not execute or make actions that are in alignment with the company's values, with the goals. It can come at a cost to your business, to your client relationships. And then again, it's time and money that we're pouring into someone who ultimately really wasn't the right fit for this opportunity. And that's on us too, right? So
yeah, if they're not doing the job, then you are doing their job and fixing their work also, which creates another task on your
It sure does. It sure does.
Yeah. So what role has humility played in your growth as a leader?
I think humility's played a large role. I definitely believe that I have something to learn from everyone. Everyone's got knowledge they can share with me, value they can add to my life, whether it's in the real estate industry, whether it's on something else. Like, there is always something to learn from someone. So I truly view every person I interact with through that lens. And I will also say, I know that I will never know everything. I can work to master what I do professionally, and I will never be perfect. There will always be something to learn. So I try to put myself in rooms with people who know more than I do or have built larger businesses than I have. And I look at every individual as an opportunity for me to learn something.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't want to know it all. That wouldn't be fun.
Yeah, and I feel like you are absolutely right. People are so smart out there.
Yeah.
And you can't do everything, right?
Yeah.
I feel like doing what you are best at, it's enough. And we all have 24 hours, right? We can't have more time.
Yeah.
If we have a limited time, then we can do anything. But we have to think about, with the less amount of time you have, how you can achieve the most things out there, right? And also giving time to the family and everything, your mom, dad, and everything, which is also important because time is limited.
Absolutely.
Everyone has.
Yeah.
Right? You have talked about betting on yourself. Was there a defining moment where you decided to take that leap?
Yeah. I'd say probably a defining moment of betting on myself was probably stepping into leadership. And having the opportunity to coach and consult agents and business owners in an opportunity to make an even bigger impact. Having helped to build out a mega agent team, I learned a lot, and we succeeded at a high level, and we achieved so much, and I just learned so much there that in turn has helped me in my coaching and consulting conversations. And I had to trust myself and bet on myself that I was the right person to help other people grow their business. And then, I made that change, and I am absolutely in the right seat of the bus, living in my passion and my fulfillment. I love what I do. I love having the conversations with our people. So I'm grateful that I bet on myself.
Nice. So let's talk about another segment, all about mindfulness, because that's the topic of our discussion.
Yeah.
And mindfulness is the name of our podcast.
I know.
So mindful leadership at KW, because mindfulness can be applied anywhere.
Yes.
So mindful leadership at Keller Williams. So you often say your goal is to coach agents. into becoming business owners. What does that transformation looks like in practice?
That's a great question. I would say what that transformation looks like in practice is really understanding the who that I'm sitting down with and what their goals are and why that's important to them. Because it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. There's models and best practices for building a business. And when we're getting clear on your motivation, your goals, your big why, that's true to you. That's authentic to you. So it's understanding goals, motivation, why, and then it's helping our agents and our business owner partners understanding what goes into running a business, understanding the numbers behind their business. When they're meeting clients, how are they meeting most of their clients? Is there a way for us to lean into that even more?
Yeah.
And just really running it like a business, because there's a lot of real estate agents and they'll sell a lot of houses and they're not necessarily running a business, and they might not even be taking home a net profit. So it's leaning into how we run a business, the numbers behind it, the best practices, not the unique practices, and helping our agents implement. One thing at a time, though. We don't implement it all.
Yeah, one follow-up question over there is you mentioned there's a difference between business owners and real estate agents, right? Business owners, like real estate agents, they are out there selling and helping people buy and sell properties.
Yep.
Business owners are making a business out of it.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So I want to ask, the real estate agent not necessarily are making profit out of it. Is that true?
Some aren't. Some aren't. Some are.
Some are.
And
some are.
And
Okay,
some aren't.
got it.
And that's why understanding the numbers behind the business is so important. Because I remember there was a time we were going through our budget on my previous team, and there's models of what the percentages should be within cost of sales, operating expenses, and then net profit. And we did kind of a pulse check on some of our expenses, and man, it was humbling. No wonder we were struggling at a portion of time. We weren't monitoring our expenses, and we weren't seeing a return on investment in some of our expenses that were meant to go back into the business. And so that's what I mean. It's easy to
miss that part.
Yeah. Swipe the credit card for this and that and not hold our dollar accountable.
Yeah.
So that's some of that business mindset.
That makes sense.
And inspecting what we expect.
Yeah, one of the things which I've realized this year is, I read a book, I forgot the name, I think it's about finance, just tracking your numbers down. Like how much you are getting, where you are spending, and each and every dollar amount, so that you know the right truth. People just say, okay, hey, you know what, we are just living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
But where exactly your numbers are going, maybe you need to save on this. Maybe coffee every day on Starbucks doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Saving $10 a day will make, $300 of saving in a month. Or maybe into 12, which is, $3,600, which is a lot now sounds like.
Yeah. Well,
in a year.
And even, when you're looking at your business, and if events is something you're wanting to do and you're wanting to have client events and community events, it's also being smart around how we do things like that. Is there an allied partner who can do this event with us, right? It's a win for them. It's a win for us. We share the cost of it. So it's bringing some creative solutions to be able to still grow the business and move it forward in a way that's mindful to our expenses and our net profit.
Yeah, that makes sense. Succeeding through others is a phrase you often use.
Yes.
How does that show up day to day as a Keller Williams leader?
I would say it shows up day to day in different ways. I believe you truly can't lead if you don't succeed through others. Again, I can't put the world on my back and achieve all that I want to achieve. So I'd say how it shows up, with our leadership team, it shows up in continuing to develop strong leaders within our leadership team. Within our agent, our agent partners, it looks like creating leaders in the industry, in the community, and helping our business partners live in their passion and achieve their goals. That's succeeding through others.
So basically, others are succeeding, and from them you are also succeeding because they are they are the one who came to the nurture
Yeah.
and everything, right?
Absolutely. And you know, when we all win together, like we win so much more.
We win as a team.
We win as a team, absolutely.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. How does your how does your psychology background help you communicate and coach more effectively?
How much time do you have? I'm just kidding. I'd say it helps a lot because I think, you know, everyone is different, like I've said, and it's not a one-size-fits-all approach when it comes to coaching and consulting. And so understanding that people are motivated by different factors, there's different personality types. So being able to understand how each person is different and what type of style, coaching style works well for them, definitely has helped me in what I do today. And I think, you know, having that passion for clinical psychology and going down that path originally, I've just got such a curiosity about people. So I just want to learn and get to know and understand who you are and what motivates you with no other agenda, and then be of service that way.
So you have a degree in psychology?
Yes.
Got it. So you can read people's mind?
No, I wish. I'd be retired if that was the case. I cannot read people's minds whatsoever. What I can do is I can sit down and get to know someone, and I can have a purposeful and meaningful conversation and ask questions to understand who you are and where you want to go. And then hopefully partner with you in achieving that.
That's also great, right?
Yeah.
To understanding people's mind.
Well, and
where they're coming from.
Yeah, where they're coming from and asking questions. You know, not going into a conversation and assuming anything. That helps us with our clients. That helps us with any relationship in our life, right? Coming from curiosity, and then again, just coming from service too and contribution.
Yeah. I feel like women are more better or successful real estate agent than men. Is that true?
Oh, that's a great question. I would say when you look at real estate as an industry, it is more female dominated compared to most other industries out there. Are more female real estate agents successful than males? I don't know, because I don't have any stats off the top of my head, but I'd say...
Yeah, it's not written anywhere in the books, but I feel like women, I need the data, but I feel like women have more emotion. They express more, they can express emotions more quickly. They can understand people's value. They understand the brain. Because the reason why I was asking this question to you is you mentioned psychology.
Yeah.
You can read people's mind. You can understand where they're coming from and help them, right?
Yeah.
Men don't do that often. I feel like maybe men are more practical and women are more emotional.
And when you look at the brain, we do see that, you know, if you're looking at science and you look at the brain, you know, men have different parts of their brain that are larger than women and vice versa. And I think that it just comes down to asking questions to understand who we're talking with. And maybe it's also how someone's raised too. Like, you know, were you raised in a household where it was okay to come from curiosity and ask a lot of questions? Or maybe it wasn't. So there's so many different factors that could contribute to that.
Yeah, so we can't say, you know, one is better than another.
I cannot say. I don't think there's any scientific data behind it, but if there is, I'd be interested in reading it.
Yeah, I will do some research myself.
Me too.
And just will post on the description.
Perfect.
You have said communication isn't about how you want to speak, but about how the other person receives it. Can you give an example of what that means and what's that in action?
Yeah, and I think that was something that took me a little while to learn, because I communicate in a certain way. When we look at personality, you know, there's several different types of personality tests out there. And I'm someone who, with my personality, I'm direct. I'm what they would consider a driver, pretty fast-paced, and pretty direct. And then there are other people who appreciate a lot of information and details. I am not one of those people. And so when I sit down with someone and I'm talking through something, I want to, you know, talk through it, say what we got to say, move on. And I've had to understand, with working with a team, with working with clients, that people have other personalities, and someone may appreciate and need more details to be able to make a decision. So I have to understand, again, who I'm sitting down with. How do you receive the information? It doesn't matter how I want to communicate. I need to communicate in a way that you can hear it and you can receive it. And I've got to understand how that works for you, right?
Yeah, that's also part of psychology, right? Understanding other people's mind.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say sure, some of that definitely ties into psychology, and a lot of that ties into what we do. You know, when you're sitting down with a potential seller, what's really motivating them to have a conversation with you? Are they someone who talks really fast and kind of cuts you off? Are they telling you you're taking too much time to explain something? Are they someone who's wanting a lot of data and facts, right? Seeing the questions they ask and their communication style can help me identify who I'm sitting down with and what communication style will work best for them. Because again, it's not necessarily about what I want or how I want to communicate. It's about communicating with you and the way you're going to receive it. Requires patience sometimes.
Yeah. And I think that's a great thought, because most of the times people don't realize that. They just want to communicate what they feel like and what they are best at. But they never feel like, okay, what's the other person, what's the best way for the other person to receive it?
Absolutely.
Right? Because other person might be, they want to hear something which is super fast, super slow. They're not able to understand you.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're able to understand you. So things of that matters.
Yeah. And if I may, I think this applies to all areas of our lives, because my husband has a different personality than I do. And so he loves a lot of details. If he's going to tell me a story, I'm going to learn from how it started 3 weeks ago to how it ended today. And that's very different than my communication style. So I've had to learn to slow down, give him the space to give me the whole story. Now I actually want all the details. But that's how it's shown up in personal areas of my life. And we talk about succeeding through others. It's communicating with them in the way they're going to receive it.
Yeah, I think that's super powerful tool. Yeah, I learned a lot from this particular thing, yeah.
Awesome.
Leadership can be draining.
Yes.
How do you personally stay mindful and avoid slipping back into burnout?
Oh, that's a great question. So I've had to learn what putting myself looks like, and I've had to identify that. So my mornings, I do my own kind of sacred miracle morning. So I wake up and I'm either going for a walk, I call them a bubble bath for the brain, or I'm going to the gym, and that is my me time. So it is often I'm getting texts at 5:30 a.m., 6 a.m. that are work related. But if I'm on my walk, if I'm at the gym, I don't even look at it. That is my me time. And that's become something I really value. So that's how I start my day. And usually how I end my day is with a walk as well. Walking is something that's really good for my mental health, my physical health, kind of helps get me out of my head and into my body, so more mindful. And I work too when going on these walks, just being aware of my surroundings. Can I smell any of the flowers in bloom? Like, what are the sounds that I'm hearing? Again, bringing me back to that present moment. And then I'd say the other thing that's helped me not slip into burnout is giving myself space and grace for balance. Because I am someone who, like I said, runs hard, goes a million miles a minute. And while that can be great, that can also come at a cost. So allowing myself to give what I have to give that day. It might look different some days. If I'm sick or getting over something and I show up and work to give 100%, that 100% might look different than when I'm, healthy and not sick.
Yeah.
And it's giving myself space and grace for the balance. Like, if I haven't been sleeping well, maybe I sleep in instead of hitting the gym that morning, because that's what's going to be best for me and, my body recovering and so forth.
Yeah. Do you do yoga or meditation?
So I used to actually be a big meditator, and it's something that I fell out of practice with. Yoga, my husband is very into yoga, so I do it sometimes with him. I'm not nearly as consistent. That's where he is right now. But something that I have enjoyed is yin yoga. And so for quite some time, we were consistently going on Sundays, and that's more of the deep stretches, releasing energy within the body. And so that's something I really enjoy. Can I sit here and tell you that I do it every week? No, I can't. Would it be good for me? Yes, it would.
Okay, so your husband he does it more often?
Oh my goodness, yeah. He loves yoga. He loves hot yoga. That's not my thing. But he loves yoga. He's actually gotten back into his meditation practice. I'm getting myself there.
Nice.
But I've been able to find how it can show up for me in other ways, like those walks and taking moments of just deep breaths and recentering myself.
Yeah, that makes sense. What excites you most about the future of Keller Williams and real estate industry?
So much excites me. I always say it's never a dull moment being in real estate, and there's always something to learn, which I think has probably been a consistent theme in what I've said so far today. What excites me a lot, and especially with Keller Williams, is this is where entrepreneurs thrive. So you could step into this brokerage and you can build out your real estate business. You can build out a service that helps other agents. Like, the opportunities are truly endless. And in our ecosystem, I mean, we've got a database of, gosh, how many agents that we can, connect with and network and build businesses with. And then leveraging AI into the real estate industry, into the brokerage, helping our agents streamline their business, get more time back and more money through leveraging technology and AI. That's something we're rolling out very soon, so I'm not going to give too many details, but I'm very excited about it. And just that, truly, like, the sky is the limit. You want to build something, this is the place to do it. What do you want to build? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like real estate, okay, I ask you two questions, right? What is the future of KW and real estate industry? I also echo you. So Keller Williams is one of the biggest real estate brokerage firm with around more than 100,000 agents worldwide.
Yep.
And wherever you go, you will find an office.
Right.
Anywhere. So my brother is moving to Costa Rica. There's an office over there.
Yes, amazing.
Yeah. So, and also real estate is a big industry.
Yeah.
When I joined, I thought maybe it's a one field where you are helping buyers and sellers, but it's not that. It's like you can be a commercial or residential agent, or you can be a flipping guy. You just buy properties and flip it and sell it. You can also be a developer or a being a construction in the construction industry. That also paths open up to. So there's a number of ways you can go about it. So I feel like the opportunity is tremendous, and it's not the easy money, but you have to work hard for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I feel like.
Absolutely.
And it actually helps you to build connections.
Yeah.
So that's also one of the, like, you need for a construction company, you need connections with a lot of people, like vendors and things like that. Yeah. So
absolutely.
That's what I feel like, and it's one of the awesome companies for a newbie. So it gives a good mentorship for them.
We are known for our coaching and training, absolutely, for newer agents and for agents at every production level. And just what excites me about real estate is, like you mentioned, there's so many different avenues you can go down. And for me, it's been an industry and an avenue that's opened my eyes to how I can make a positive impact in other ways. And coaching is a passion of mine, and that's something I've gotten to lean more into. So the opportunities are endless.
Yeah.
It's what do you want to build, and then we'll make that plan. And we'll check along the way, right?
Yeah. Like being accountable is another thing.
Yeah.
Which I've learned here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice as you started in real estate, what would that be?
That is a really good question. Honestly, don't care what other people think and fail fast. I cared a lot about what other people thought, and I compared myself, and I was scared to fail. And that cost me time, and that cost me money. So go out there, do what you need to do, have the conversations, build the relationships. You're gonna fail in some way, shape, or form. Maybe you put your foot in your mouth. I've done that a handful of times, right? Maybe you make a mistake, and it's got an impact to the business. You're gonna fail. And so just go do it. Like, fail faster, get it over with. Instead of being in fear of it, knowing it's inevitable, it's gonna happen, just go out and do it. Take the actions, fail. You're gonna learn, you're gonna pick yourself up, and you're gonna grow so much from it. And that's really where where the fun happens. It's not having your happiness tied to the outcome or one specific goal. It's falling in love with the journey and being happy along the journey. And that includes success and failures.
Yeah. And until you fail, you will not realize that whether you are working, doing right or wrong, right?
Yeah.
Sitting at home doesn't do anything good.
But it doesn't. I haven't been able to figure out how to build business that way.
Yeah.
And
only it does good for software engineers who work from home.
There you go. It works for some industries, right?
Some industry. Let's say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it has been very powerful conversation with you. We have talked a lot from growing pains into the real estate industry, the tools that shaped your success, as well as how you lead with authenticity and mindfulness at Keller Williams. So before we close, I would love to ask you a few last questions.
Oh goodness, okay.
What does success mean to you today?
Ooh, I'd say that is a work in progress, because what success looks like for me today can look different, months later down the line. But truly what I'd say what success looks like for me today is having meaningful conversations and purposefully building relationships with the people in my world, the people outside of my world, and helping others grow in some way, whether it's with the team and doing a leadership moment at our team huddle, or whether it's with one of our agent partners, but helping people grow in some way is what success looks like for me today.
Now I know why people love you a lot.
Oh gosh.
Because you like to see other people succeed.
Yeah, that's the best part of what I do.
Yeah, and basically because of that nature, it's very uncommon to see that. A lot of people don't have that quality. So having have that, that's why I think a lot of people like you and want to work with you. So I think that's one of the best things which I also have learned here, helping others to succeed, right?
Yeah.
And then you will succeed when you see others succeed.
Absolutely.
Right, and that's a part of the manager, a leader.
Yeah.
And finally, if you had to leave our listeners with one guiding principle for a life or business or advice, what would that be?
Oh, that's a great question. One guiding principle. Understand and identify, if you haven't already, what you're passionate about and what fulfills you, and then have that show up in business or in any part of your life, right? Because there are people who, may work in an industry and not exactly know how to tie their passions and fulfillment into that. So if you're not able to tie it into business, make sure it's showing up in the other aspects of your life. Because at the end of the day, what is most important is that we are happy, we are healthy, and when we are at the end part of our lives, we're gonna look back and really value and cherish the moments of us living in that passion and that fulfillment. We're not gonna think about the other things. So spend your time there as you can, and if you can incorporate it into your business, then that's just even more of a plus.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, I feel like that's amazing thought. If you can convert your passion into business, that's nothing can beat that. Basically,
absolutely.
You will not feel like you are working a single day, because what you will do is you're following your passion, and it converts your business into money and things like that. Yeah.
And I think it'll make doing the hard things a little bit easier. I will be transparent. I definitely feel like I'm working some days, and I get to marry business and passion and fulfillment. And though it just makes those tough days that we have that are inevitable a little bit easier. Yeah.
That makes sense. Well, thank you so much, Kat, for being so open and vulnerable, and for sharing not just your success, but also real life lessons, which also grow me as a listener, as well as I hope my listeners also learn something from this. For everyone listening, I hope you take away from something from this conversation, that perfection isn't the goal, contribution matters more than a comparison, and that's true leadership is about helping others succeed. Until next time, stay mindful. Thank you so much, Kat. It was nice having you.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.